In this session, we're going to discuss having difficulty getting the clutch onto the crankshaft. First off, it is a difficult process. Clearance between the actual crankshaft and the bearing is very close to begin with, so it's very tight to go on anyway, and that's normal. We actually want that. We want that clearance to be very close. You see, it was kind of difficult just to put that on. So you have to be a little patient. Other thing to look for, it's very important that the keyway and the key have to align with one another. And what we suggest is when you're assembling the clutch, we take the this is a D-spacer. We take the D-spacer, we assemble the clutch onto the machine, and we use this as we're pushing the clutch on. We pivot this back and forth until we find the keyway and then push it on. It's very important to never strike the clutch with a hammer. Don't hit it or it'll go on. You just have to use pressure, and again, it can be difficult. So that's a little trick. The next thing is the lead-in. You want to inspect your crankshaft and the clutch, particularly if you've already tried to install it and had trouble. You want to make sure that it has about a 30-degree lead-in. So you can take a file and just hit that a little bit to make sure that you have a lead-in both on the crankshaft and then on the key inside the clutch. You see here? And then you take and run that back and just give it a little file just to make sure they have a good lead-in coming onto the crankshaft. The next thing is a phenomenon called swelling, crankshaft swelling. We see this one a lot. We get phone calls quite often on this one. Clutch is very common for the clutch bearing to fail, and when that does, it creates a tremendous amount of heat. That heat causes the crankshaft to swell. It's a phenomenon called the coefficients of thermal expansion. The bearing gets hot, it swells everything, it swells the crankshaft, and of course our clearances are so tight to begin with that can be a problem. What we recommend to take care of that problem is you take some WD-40 or silicone spray, PB blasters, whatever you have on the shelf, and a piece of emery paper, and you wrap that emery paper around the crankshaft and you polish the crankshaft. And you have to do that for quite a bit, spray more WD-40 back and forth until you get it nice and shiny again, and bring its size back down ever so slightly enough to where it will go into the bearing. So before you get too frustrated and call tech support, check your crankshaft, check your keyway, and be patient and know that it can be a bit of a difficult process. Thank you.